Okay, hello YouTube. Today I will be installing this. I will be installing this at a later point, so stay tuned if you're interested in a motorcycle DVR camera. Today we're going to concentrate on this. It's a tyre pressure monitoring system. This is the part number. I've got this off of eBay. It looked really good on eBay. When I opened it, you get one of these magnetic wireless charging connections to charge the actual unit. You will have to charge it by USB, but basically apparently the unit lasts about a couple of days when you have it on. So basically it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It's quite massive, quite chunky. When you turn it on, I think you got to press these two buttons. One of them, both of them. Oh, here we go. So both of the buttons. You got the pressure, tire pressure. I don't know how well you can see that. It doesn't seem to be showing well. You got the time, and you can set the maximum PSI. Now that part I'm okay with. These, however, are massive. Let me just take these out of the boxes. These are massive, and they're quite heavy. Having that on your tire may offset the balance. So you got rear wheel and front wheel. I don't know how big you think these are, but these are pretty massive. I'd say they're about literally £3 coins stacked on top of each other, and they're quite heavy. You got this little mount you put on the handlebar to attach this to. So I'm just going to install it, and then we're going to have a look at if it's any good or if it's a waste of money. Okay, so I've got the mount here. You've got to just put this little rubber seal around the edge just to make up the 22mm for the handlebar, and then just got a little wing nut at the bottom. As you can see, I've got so much stuff on my handlebars, soon I'll run out of room. Just tighten it just to fit it there. Then you've got these two ones, so you've got to put front wheel and rear wheel, and then this little thing is to tighten on the caps. So basically you just find your valve cap, remove it off the valve stem just there. So you take the rear wheel one and you just simply screw it on here. Then we use this little thing to tighten it up, which does not work whatsoever. Oh, that's absolutely useless. Yeah, this thing is pointless. It literally does not lock in properly. A bit weird, but it's pretty tight. Now we put the one on the front wheel, take that off, and put this on. Hopefully it works this time. Okay, so nope, it just spins like, what's the point of this if it doesn't lock in? Oh well. So stick that on there. It's pretty tight as I can get it by hand. Again, it's massive. So hopefully we now have this. Oh, you didn't even have to pair it. So we've got, don't know how well you can see it, 22 and 21 bar or PSI, 2.2 bar and 2.1 bar. I don't know if you can change it to PSI. Must be a way. No, that turns it off. Turns it on. what do you do? That's to set the clock. Can do that later. There must be an option. Oh god. Come on. Oh God's sake. Aha, bar. Bar. No. Oh, PSI. PSI, there we go. Hopefully it's now set to PSI. I suppose this second number is how. So okay, so yeah. No. Come on, okay. Oh, here you go. So 31 psi and 30 psi, and you can see, I don't know how well it shows up on the camera, but front wheel and rear wheel. This is quite important. I don't really ride my bike a lot, but if you have a flat tire, it will affect your bike quite a lot. So just gonna screw this on now. So basically, as you're riding along, you can see your PSI. Like I said, you can just remove this and then charge it at home with the USB. This is supposed to last quite a few, maybe a week on the instructions. And this is basically the full installation. As you can see, it's pretty much simple. I don't mind this being a bit big, because as you're riding you want it to be a bit big, but those valve PSI covers are massive. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I don't make any money out of these videos. I know everyone's going to be asking for the link, so generally I find the cheapest price for the same thing on eBay, and then I'll put it on the link on the video below. Anyway, I will be installing this at some point. It's a motorcycle DVR. I purchased this one again from eBay. Due to being on furlough, I've got a bit of time to spend on my motorcycle, so I'll be installing this on my next video. Okay, if you like the video, subscribe. Okay, thank you, bye. So I went for a little ride on there. Hopefully you got some footage. This is quite visible in the daylight. I've had it on now for a couple of hours and battery is still full, so I think it will go probably a week if you use it a couple of hours every day. In the video there was a little spanner with a little nut and bolt. They go on the back of the actual wheel nut, sorry, the actual valve, and then you can like tighten it with the spanner, so these can't be removed easily. And then you need a little spanner to undo it, but because I have a slow puncher, hence the reason I got this. On a side note, I did do my brake calipers and I painted them. I had a slight knocking coming from the back. I couldn't figure out what it was, and then I unfortunately realized the brake caliper basically wasn't put on right, and I don't know if you can see it, but the brake pads actually knocked out a notch in the wheel, and that was the knocking noise that I was having on the bike. I actually thought it was my chain. I just re-greased everything, but there you go. When you put your calipers back on, just make sure there's a little notch. You can't really see it in here, but the caliper brakes sit in there, and then there's a little notch to stop the brake pad actually dropping down. and because that wasn't incorrectly, I've ended up damaging my wheel. I hope it's not too bad, but I do have a spare wheel, but unfortunately there's a little notch in there, just there. Hopefully you can see it's all around the wheel, just there. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you can see just at the bottom of the brake pad where it was hitting. So if you ever had that problem, I hope that helps you. All right, by the way, it's worth getting. I'll put the link below, and enjoy.